18 years ago on Doctor Who. A lonely night on planet Midnight's face. A diamond world, a dazzling heart's embrace. A star's bright rays, too deadly to ignore. The Doctor lands at Venger's lie store. In shadowed skies, a shuttle takes its flight. Through crystals lands that shimmer in the light. Passengers chat, each one unique and flawed. Their silence falls, a terror unexplored. A pounding knock upon the shuttle's frame, an unseen thing that stokes their fear and shame. No form it takes, no face to meet their gaze, just echoes twist their minds in creeping haze. The Doctor speaks, his voice a beacon clear, but then it mimics, drawing others near. A creature steals, not flesh, but words and tone, and soon they find they're not entirely alone. The fear divides, suspicion takes its toll. In chaos storm, mistrust consumes the whole. Yet through it all, the Doctor stands his ground. A voice of calm amidst the rising sound. But mortals' fear is wild and hard to tame. The Doctor's wisdom ignored in their blame. A moment sharp where life hangs by a thread. Reason returns, though much remains unsaid. The creature gone, its mystery still untold. The passengers scarred, but brave and bold. The Doctor leaves, midnight's grip undone. Another tale beneath a blazing sun. A story dark of fear and frailty, of how mistrust can blind humanity. Yet hope persists, and lessons can be learned on planets where the endless crystals burn. Wasn't that just a beautiful poem, man? Holy shit. I was like, you know what? I should, summarize Midnight, the episode, in some kind of interesting and creative way. And I was like, you know what? Let's just read it as a poem. And hopefully you enjoyed that, because I thought it was really poetic and really, really beautiful. So, alright, today I'm going to talk about the Bloody Well, man, from Doctor Who, the latest episode in season 2. This is obviously the third episode already, which is pretty wild to say. And we have a bunch of things to talk about. Just like I said, it's about Midnight. It's a sequel to Midnight, which is just fantastic, man. Like, the well, I thought, people presumed that it was some kind of bunker, like the well. Yeah, you saw the door closing, and people actually thought it was about like a radioactive planet. I'm not quite sure. I didn't really read a lot of leaks and rumors about it, but I was like, okay, damn, if this is going to be like a Fallout video game episode where there's radiation on the surface, stuff like that. But no, it was actually a sequel to Midnight, which is really, really interesting. I watched Midnight before I watched this episode, and dude, that episode is terrifying. But this episode as well is really nice. Like, it's more like a, I would say, bottle episode. It's, mostly in one big room, but obviously also on a ship and on a quarry. But, it mostly is inside a bunker or some kind of base, which is really interesting. So, who do you have as characters? We have the 50th Doctor, played by Ncuti Gatwa, the central figure, obviously, resourceful and insightful as always. Belinda Chandra, the Doctor's companion, who plays a key role in uncovering the mystery, and obviously she is played by Faratha Suthi, I believe. So there we go. We have Alice Fenley, a deaf survivor found in the mining base, portrayed with depth, I think, and emotion. And I really liked it because of every single person on Earth, you chose a deaf person, which absolutely makes sense for Midnight, because the Midnight entity, we don't really see it in the first episode 18 years ago, but we kind of saw it in this episode as well. And Alice, she is partially deaf. She can talk still and she can hear things too, but there is, she's deaf. Yeah, she can't really hear a lot of things like normal people can. Not to say she's weird or anything, but I really liked that part that included a deaf person, because the Midnight entity lurks into your brain or your consciousness and makes you fear other people, if that makes sense. And I thought that was really, really interesting. So we have the rescue crew, obviously a group investigating the mining base, including Mo Gilliban, and also obviously that Captain Moomin. Didn't remember her name, but whatever. We also have, fun fact, Mrs. Flood in this episode. An enigmatic presence tied to the overarching storyline. And this is very interesting because Mrs. Flood now knows that the Doctor is using a vortex indicator to go back to Earth. And I have my, I guess, theories about Mrs. Flood. I'm not quite sure, but some people say, like I said, some people, people say a lot of things, but some people say that she is actually some kind of god from the pantheon of gods, like the god of stories. But obviously we'll see the god of stories later down in the season with that spider guy or that spider god. People say that Mrs. Flood is some kind of reincarnation of some kind of Time Lord. That's interesting. Like it could be the Rani or what's her name again? Oh boy, the fourth Doctor companion Time Lord friend, Ramana, right? Yeah. So I'm not quite sure. I just need to wait and see because Mrs. Flood knows that the show will end on May the 25th or something. But obviously, rumors and leaks have gone around saying that Doctor Who will end after season 2 on Disney Plus, which doesn't really make sense. It's too meta to understand, They're telling in the season that the season will stop, but, are these leaks true? Are these leaks fake? I'm not quite sure. I should just look and wait and see for myself, I guess. So there we go. The story. The Doctor and Belinda land on a spaceship above a diamond mining planet 500,000 years into the future. They join a rescue crew investigating a mining base that has gone dark, with 35 workers unaccounted for. Upon arrival, they discover the workers dead under mysterious circumstances, with shattered mirrors and reflective surfaces hinting at something sinister. The sole survivor, Alice Finley, reveals that the workers suddenly went mad, leading to chaos and death. As the Doctor and the crew delve deeper, they uncover video logs and face terrifying midnight entity, a creature that manipulates and possesses individuals. The episode explores themes of fear, isolation, and humanity's erased future, tying into the series-long storyline about Earth destruction. So, like I said, the planet is called Planet 6767, aka 400,000 years ago it was named Midnight. Absolutely freaking fantastic. Now, Russell T Davies, you mad man. It was such an interesting take on like the Midnight entity because we kind of saw it like just for few seconds, like glimpses almost. It was really interesting to see because the Midnight entity, it's one of the most creepiest Doctor Who villains ever. It's like pretty much invisible, but some people saw it, some people see it, some people hear it, and it's always lurking behind you. It's always lurking in your head, trying to, make you fear other people, right? And now, obviously, it was behind Alice, and quite literally, it was behind her, but we didn't really saw it. Great jump scares in the episodes too, a few that I really thought were very scary. And the thing is about Midnight, there was a new thing called the clock, I guess. The Doctor actually described it as a clock, that the Midnight entity is behind someone, and if you stand behind them, you die. So you get flown into the air and just, I don't know. But the thing was, I really liked it because it makes sense. You die at midnight. So if a person stands with their back to something, and somebody stands in front of them, behind them it's 12 o'clock, midnight, or and in front of them it's like I guess 6. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it makes sense in a way when the clock arrows just turn and whatever. I really like that bit and makes a lot of sense actually. So, themes: fear and paranoia. The Midnight entity thrives on fear, showcasing how mistrust can lead to chaos. Humanity's fragility. Yeah, I think so. The episode reflects on humanity's vulnerability and its erased presence in the future, isolation and survival. The characters face physical and emotional isolation, testing their resilience. Time and consequences. The destruction of Earth rewrites the timeline, raising questions about legacy and impact. So yes, also they didn't really know what Earth was, or they didn't really understand Earth sayings, like funny little sentences or whatever. So Earth might be gone, but obviously the Doctor is obviously going to stop that, man. Come on. Which is really interesting. I also really liked that they didn't really set up a sequel to this episode, but the crew and the crew that did survive. They went up to their ship back and flew into space. And there's one woman that actually saw something behind somebody else, but she said, "Oh, it's probably nothing." She said with a scary, almost fearful voice. So, I mean, yes, the Midnight Entity is probably somewhere in space in the Doctor Who universe, still lurking behind someone. So I hope we'll get to see that eventually in the future, but we'll need to wait and see, obviously, for another sequel to that episode. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And in the next episode, or next Doctor Who review, I'll talk about Lucky Day. So alright, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will check you later. Goodbye, everyone.